Coming up, China will not stop Diaoyu Islands. Airplane crew passengers rewarded for stopping hijackers. China overtakes Japan in Fortune 500 ranks. China unveils 396-strong Olympic game. Beijing gets public bike rental service. Simulated dinosaurs on display in Beijing. Inflated boy safe now receives large donations. Hello, welcome to this edition of News of the Week. I'm Ruizi in San Francisco. Last Saturday, Japanese Prime Minister made a statement in which he indicated that the Japanese government is considering buying the Diaoyu Islands. In response to the statement, Foreign Ministry spokesman said Monday that China will not permit Japan to purchase the Diaoyu Islands in East China Sea. ICN News has the details. Foreign Ministry spokesman said Monday that China will not permit Japan to purchase the Diaoyu Islands in the East China Sea. We cannot allow anyone to buy or sell China's sacred territory, spokesman Liu Weiming said at a regular press conference. Liu said the Chinese Foreign Ministry and Chinese Embassy in Japan lodged complaints to Japan on Saturday to demonstrate the Chinese government's firm stance on safeguarding the territorial sovereignty over the Diaoyu Islands. Liu reiterated that the Diaoyu Islands and its affiliated islands have been part of China's inherent territory since ancient times, and that China's claim to the islands is backed by indisputable historical evidence. He said the Chinese government will continue to take necessary measures to resolutely safeguard its sovereignty over the Diaoyu Islands and its adjacent islets. Yibinghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco. The crew of an airplane that was targeted by hijackers in West China's Xinjiang province last month have received cash, apartments, and cars as a reward for stopping the attack. ICN News has the details. The crew of flight GS7554, carried by Tianjin Airlines, were rewarded by parent company Hainan Airlines and the provincial government of Hainan at a ceremony held in the southmost island province on July 9th. The hijacking attempt was made just 10 minutes after the plane took off on June 29th from Hotan in southern Xinjiang for the regional capital of Urumqi. 6 hijackers, wielding aluminum pipes, tried to storm the cockpit but were beaten back by both crew and passengers. At least 10 people, including 4 crew members, were injured in the attack. Hainan Airlines awarded 2 security guards and the plane's chief attendant 1 million yuan each in cash, an apartment worth 3 million yuan, and a sedan. The rest of the crew each received 500,000 yuan, a 2 million yuan apartment, and a sedan. The provincial government gave each of the crew members 500,000 yuan, with 2 crew members receiving an extra 100,000 apiece for actions that were especially heroic. Yibinghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco. Research shows that a health condition is related to how often we're around dogs or cats. A study was done with 397 children from pregnancy up to the age of 12 months that monitored how much contact they had during this period with dogs and cats. ICN News has more.
Researchers from the Kuopio University Hospital in Finland recently reported that babies who are in close contact with dogs or cats during the first 12 months of life were found to have better health and were less likely to suffer from respiratory infections. A study was done with 397 children from pregnancy up to the age of 12 months that monitored how much contact they had during this period with dogs and/or cats. They found that despite infections being common during a child's first year of life, children who had contact with dogs had fewer symptoms, suffered less, and required less antibiotics. The scientists believe that early contact with animals helps promote a stronger immune system to better fight off infection. Yibinghe, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco.
Experiencing power outages and heat wave due to the storms last week, some people got emails saying that a bailout authorized by President Barack Obama's administration is available to pay their utility bills. Let's go and see what happened. After the storms, power outages, and heat wave of last week, some people have set out to take advantage of those trying to get things back to normal. Scammers have been going from state to state, persuading victims that a bailout authorized by President Barack Obama's administration is available to pay their utility bills. Victims are asked for their social security numbers and other personal information, then given phony bank information to use when paying their bills online. The scam spread across across the East Coast so fast, power companies have set up automated warning messages to play on their helplines. Power companies are encouraging customers to be smart and to only use their own information to pay their bills. Yi Binghe, John Berge, ICN San Francisco. Fortune 500 companies list, which is issued annually by the U.S. financial magazine, ranks global companies according to their revenue from the previous year, shows that China has surpassed Japan as the second on the ranking. ICN News has the details. The number of Chinese enterprises on this year's Fortune 500 list issued has surpassed that of Japan on the ranking of the world's top companies by revenue for the first time. Royal Dutch Shell, which ranked second last year, is in the top spot on this year's list. Walmart, last year's top earning company, dropped to third place, following ExxonMobil. 79 enterprises in China, including Chinese mainland, Hong Kong, and Taiwan, are on this year's list, ranking second to the United States with 132 enterprises. Japan came in third with 68 companies. The top Chinese companies on the list include Sinopec Group, China National Petroleum Corporation, and State Grid Corporation of China. 5 Chinese private enterprises are on this year's list, including China Ping An Insurance Group, Jiangsu Shagang Group, Huawei Investment Holdings, and 2 new entrants, Zhejiang Jili Holding Group and Shandong Weiqiao Pioneering Group. Fortune also forecasts that the number of Chinese enterprises on the list next year will continue to grow if China's economy achieved its 2012 growth target of 7.5%. Yi Binghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco. The 2012 London Olympic Games will start on July 27th. This year, China will send 396 athletes consisting of 171 men and 225 women to participate in the 23 sports at the Summer Games. ICN News has more. It was announced on Tuesday that China will send 396 athletes in 23 sports to the upcoming London Olympic Games. The team, consisting of 171 men and 225 women athletes, will also be accompanied by 225 officials for the Games, which start on July 27th. According to the Chinese Olympic Committee, China will be represented in 23 of 26 sports at the Summer Games after it has failed to qualify for soccer, equestrian, and handball. A total of 29 Beijing Olympic titleists, including badminton star Lin Dan, swimming ace Liu Zige, and sharpshooter Du Li, will lead the team at the Games. Li Changchun, member of the Standing Committee of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee, on Tuesday encouraged the athletes to do their best at the London Games and make the country proud again. Yi Binghe, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco. One more news for Olympic Games. A 19-year-old woman from Pleasanton got a chance to carry the Olympic flame during the Games torch relay on Monday. And another Bay Area torchbearer, Kaylin Nie from Fremont, was running on Wednesday morning. Let's take a look. A 19-year-old woman from Pleasanton got a chance to carry the Olympic flame during the Games torch relay on Monday. Sarah Williams was given the chance to run with the flame after leading a project to create 20,000 blankets for foster children. Williams was allowed to run twice, after another torchbearer could not make it. Another Bay Area torchbearer, Kaylin Nie of Fremont, will be running on Wednesday morning. 2 other Bay Area residents have carried the torch earlier this month, Cynthia Guevara and David Wang, both San Jose State graduates. Yi Binghe, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco. Wednesday morning, the first twin panda cubs born in 2012 came into the world in southwest China's Sichuan province. Let's take a look. The first twin panda cubs born in 2012 came into the world in southwest China's Sichuan province Wednesday morning. The China Conservation and Research Center for the Giant Panda in Wolong said that Panda Ximei gave birth to the cubs at 4:47 a.m. Beijing time. The cubs are also the first pandas born in China this year. The center staffs have not identified the gender of one of the cubs, as its mother has yet to release it from her embrace. The second cub is a female and weighs 154.2 grams. Xi Mei became pregnant in March after mating with Lulu, a panda selected for breeding by the center. The center began intensive monitoring after Xi Mei began to exhibit prenatal behavior in mid-June. Born in 2000, Xi Mei previously gave birth to twin pandas in 2005 and 2006, respectively. In 2009, she gave birth to a single panda. 一冰河 Regina Liu, ICN San Francisco.
After Paris, New York City, and other world capitals, Beijing is finally joining the trend with its very own public bike rental service. ICN News has the details.
Starting in mid-June, Beijing has created a public bike rental program for its citizens. By 2015, a total of 50,000 bikes will be stationed in all districts of Beijing to cover major towns, transportation hubs, and streets. Residents can use the bikes for free for the first hour, then pay 1 yuan for every hour afterward. A user can rent a bike for a maximum of 3 days at a time. Designated places accept applicants for registration with a 200 deposit, and customers can use a transport card to rent bikes and pay fees automatically. 一冰河 John Berge, ICN San Francisco.
Wednesday morning, DirecTV customers lost access to 19 channels owned by Viacom, including Comedy Central, MTV, and Nickelodeon. Find out the details.
DirecTV customers lost access to 19 channels owned by Viacom this morning, including Comedy Central, MTV, and Nickelodeon. The two companies are having disagreements over subscriber fees, with Viacom asking for a 30% increase over its previous deal. DirecTV is the second largest television service provider in the United States, with 20 million subscribers. Viacom owns the rights to many popular shows, including SpongeBob SquarePants and The Daily Show. This is one of the many recent disputes among pay TV distributors and content providers. 一冰河 John Berge, ICN San Francisco.
The third dinosaur exhibition at Jingshan Park began on July 10th. As an annual event, the dinosaur exhibition is warmly welcomed by the local people. However, this year's dinosaur exhibition will be the last time for Jingshan Park to hold such event. Find out more.
The third dinosaur exhibition at Jingshan Park began July 10th, where more than 80 simulated dinosaurs of 56 species are on show until late August. It is the last time for Jingshan Park to hold a dinosaur exhibition. After the exhibition, Jingshan Park will focus on the functional position for cultural activities of the Palace Garden. Based on cultural research and heritage conservation, Jingshan Park will carry out a series of publicity campaigns for the Palace Gardens and cultural shows. Therefore, it will no longer hold dinosaur exhibition in the future. 一冰河 Regina Liu, ICN San Francisco.
According to an economics professor at the Shanghai Party Institute, a new annual report on the cost of living in major global cities, which indicates that Beijing and Shanghai are pricier than New York City, applies to expatriates rather than local residents. ICN News has more.
According to an economic professor at the Shanghai Party Institute, a new annual report on the cost of living in major global cities, which indicates that Beijing and Shanghai are pricier than New York City, applies to expatriates rather than local residents. Mercer, a compensation consulting firm, released its annual cost of living survey in mid-June, which indicates that it is now more expensive for expatriates to live in Beijing and Shanghai than in New York City. The survey includes comparative cost data of more than 200 items, including transportation, food, clothing, household goods, and entertainment, in 214 cities around the world. According to the survey, Shanghai jumped to 16th place on the list, followed by Beijing at number 17. New York City, the U.S. city with the highest cost of living, came in at number 33. Tokyo is the most expensive city globally for expatriates. 一冰河 Regina Liu, ICN San Francisco.
Thursday, 450,000 email addresses and passwords were stolen from Yahoo through its user-generated content service, Yahoo Voices. Let's find out the details.
450,000 email addresses and passwords were stolen from Yahoo today through its user-generated content service, Yahoo Voices. The passwords were stored by the site in an encrypted manner, making it easy for hackers to get the information. The hacker group D33D's company posted the data on its website and warned that the companies should be more careful with the way that they store important information. The password listing was outdated, and less than 5% is expected to be valid. Internet users are encouraged to change their passwords regularly. Yi Binghe, John Berge, ICN San Francisco.
Have you heard about Firewood Bookstore? In Beijing, a bookstore decorated with 40,000 firewood sticks is located in Jiaojiehe Village, Huairou District, and covers 170 square meters. Let's take a look.
A bookstore decorated with 40,000 firewood sticks is located in Jiaojiehe Village, Huairou District on the outskirts of Beijing and covers 170 square meters. The Li Yuan bookstore was designed by Professor Li Xiaodong from the School of Architecture at Tsinghua University. The main framework of bookstore is made of steel bars, and the outside wall and its roof is reinforced glass. Decorated with 40,000 firewood sticks outside, the bookstore features 10,000 books ranging from literature to history. Many seats inside allow visitors to sit and read. Yi Binghe, Regina Liu, ICN San Francisco.
In the morning of June 30th, two men put an electric air pump into their 13-year-old co-worker's anus and turned it on, which caused the boy badly injured. Thursday, the boy was sent to Beijing Ba-Yi Children's Hospital for further treatment. ICN News has more.
A 13-year-old boy who was badly injured after two co-workers shoved an air pump up his anus and inflated him on was sent to Beijing Ba-Yi Children's Hospital for further treatment on Thursday with the help of Angel Mom organization and is now out of danger. Du Chunwang worked as an apprentice in an auto repair shop in Dezhou, Shandong province. The medical diagnosis showed that there are nearly 30 holes in the boy's large intestine and a small intestine. In addition, several vital organs were damaged, including his liver. As of Thursday, there were 390,000 yuan in donations for Du following appeals by Angel Mom, and another 100,000 yuan from Shandong citizens was given to his father. Yi Binghe, Regina Liu, ICN San Francisco.
Now let's take a look at a group of news in brief.
Until the end of last year, renowned French National Railway, the SNCF, proposed that California use a competitive bidding process to find the design for the high-speed rail system rather than rely on construction engineers. The California High-Speed Rail Authority decided to pass on the offer and put the initial planning and construction in the hands of Parsons Brinkerhoff, a New York-based engineering and construction management firm, and seek private investors after the system was partially built. The SNCF says that if they would have been chosen to do the planning for the project, the state could have saved up to $30 billion. Yi Binghe, John Berge, ICN San Francisco. Envision and Shelter Network, two of the main homeless nonprofits that offer housing services in the Bay Area, have combined to offer better support to the community. The companies have streamlined operations and added case managers, hoping to be able to take on 1,000 more clients over the next couple of years. A main goal of the new organization is to increase counseling and help the homeless get new jobs and be able to support themselves. With the newly combined resources, the nonprofit hopes to cut the time people spend in transitional housing by as much as half. Yi Binghe, John Berge, ICN San Francisco. Social networking site Pinterest announced on Monday that they will be leaving their Palo Alto offices for a new location in San Francisco. The city's south of Market area is a growing location for tech firms, including social gaming company Zynga. Facebook also started in Palo Alto but outgrew the space and moved to Menlo Park. Pinterest, which lets users collect and share images and links to websites, launched at the start of 2010 and has over 20 million regular visitors. Women account for 60% of the user base, and it is the third most visited social network behind Twitter and Facebook. Yi Binghe, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco.
He was the most extraordinary man I ever knew.
He was a very great man.
He was a poet, a scholar, and a mighty warrior. He was also the most shameless exhibitionist since Barnum and Bailey.
Actor Peter O'Toole announced Tuesday that he is retiring from acting. The 79-year-old British actor has been nominated for 8 Oscars. He's best known for his role as T.E. Lawrence in the 1962 film Lawrence of Arabia. He has had a prolific career in the theater, film, and TV. His more recent roles include playing Popo III on the UK TV series The Tudors and playing Gallus in the upcoming film Catherine of Alexandria. 一冰河 Regina Liu, ICN San Francisco.
Lionsgate announced today their plans to split the third book of the Hunger Games series into 2 films. Mockingjay, the final novel in Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games trilogy, will become The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 and The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. The second movie in the series, Catching Fire, will hit theaters November 22, 2013, and the rest of the movies will come out once a year after that. This style of splitting up the last book in a series has also been used for the Harry Potter and Twilight franchises and has been very profitable. Lee Bing-he, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco.
More than 8 million women are at risk of difficult-to-treat bladder infections because of E. coli found in chickens. The bacteria is highly resistant to medicine as it grows inside chickens which are fed antibiotics on a regular basis. The Food and Drug Administration says 80% of the antibiotics sold in the United States are fed to livestock to protect them from disease in cramped quarters. The chicken industry says there could be other reasons why the strain of infection is so strong, including the overuse of antibiotics by humans. Because more than one type of antibiotic must be used to treat the infection, the cost of treatment continues to rise. Lee Bing-he, John Berge, ICN San Francisco. An oversight board hired a lawyer Wednesday to protect $30 million in tax funds pulled from the San Francisco 49ers Stadium project to give to schools. The money comes from a redevelopment fund of $1.2 billion set aside for the stadium that was voted on in Santa Clara in 2010. A hearing is set for July 27th to see where the money will end up. Construction on the stadium began next to Great America in April, and regardless of how the funding dispute turns out, the team expects to open its new home field in 2 years. Lee Bing-he, John Berge, ICN San Francisco.
A report was released today from an independent investigation into how Penn State handled the Jerry Sandusky sexual molestation case. Blamed in the report for the crimes was the complete lack of effort to stop Jerry Sandusky by high-ranking school officials, and the total disregard for the welfare of the victims. For 15 years, Sandusky's abuse was known by the Board of Trustees, now fired college president Graham Spanier, and iconic football coach Joe Paterno. Nothing was done by the college in an effort to avoid bad publicity. Lee Bing-he, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco. With temperatures high and rainfall non-existent, 61% of the U.S. is experiencing drought conditions. Authorities have declared more than 1,000 counties in 26 states as natural disaster areas. Many areas in the southern Midwest are reporting the poorest conditions for fields and pastures since 1988. Not only will farmers be hurt by the dry season, but so will consumers, with prices rising for fruits and vegetables. Corn, which is used in many products, has already risen 45% in price. Analysts expect the first thing to see a rise based on the poor weather is meat prices. Lee Bing-he, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco. Police broke up a ring of thieves in Washington, D.C. today who were shoplifting Tide laundry detergent and exporting it for resale in Vietnam. Theft of laundry detergent and then reselling it has become a popular crime all across the United States. A survey published last month by the National Retail Federation found that 96% of stores have been the victim of crimes like this. With household cleaning product prices on the rise, stores have started taking precautions to ward off criminals. This spring, a thief was busted with $25,000 worth of the detergent. Lee Bing-he, John Berge, ICN, San Francisco.
2 American tourists and their Egyptian guide were kidnapped Friday by a Bedouin in Egypt's Sinai. The kidnapper took the 3 to an unknown desert place, pressing the Egyptian authorities to release one of the detained Bedouin who was jailed in a prison in Alexandria. The security authorities are mediating with the tribe's leaders to release the kidnapped. This is the 6th kidnapping case in the area since February. A Singapore tourist was kidnapped by a group of masked gunmen in Middle Sinai on June 15th. Lee Bing-he, Regina Liu, ICN, San Francisco.
That's all for this edition of News of the Week. I'm Ritz in San Francisco. Thank you for staying with us. Have a nice weekend. Bye for now.